So, you have finally decided to list your house for sale. Well, you have come to the right place. Today, we're going to cover 5 different things to look for when finding an agent to sell your home. I'm Rebecca Ellis. I'm with Keller Williams Preferred Realty and Living NC Real Estate in Raleigh, North Carolina. And today, we are going to cover 5 things to look for in a realtor when going to sell your house. So, number one, which I think is probably one of the most important, is customer service. When you go to, this is an important decision. It's an expensive decision that's got a lot of implications for you as a seller. So there's so many things that you need to make sure your agent is doing when it comes to their customer service. For one, do they have great communication skills? There's so many moving parts in the transaction. There is so many people involved between the seller, the listing agent, the buyer, their agent. You usually are going to have an attorney or title company involved, a home inspector, maybe some repairs that need to be done. There's just so many moving parts. And so having somebody that is very great with their communication skills is imperative. One thing to just think about, like, if you call an agent, are they answering their phone? I know that sounds like such a simple thing, but I cannot tell you, even as being an agent, how many times I go to call an agent and they never answer their phone or respond to a text message. So for one, just being able to communicate, period, is so important. Also, personality. You're going to be working with this person day in, day out. The average sale here, at least in the Triangle in Raleigh, North Carolina, is about a 30 to 45 day close. So, again, you're like talking to this person almost every day about, the sales process and how everything's going with such an important decision you're making. So do you feel pressured by this person? Do you relate to this person? Do you trust this person? Trust is such a major thing. They are, representing you in this huge transaction that's a lot of times the most, biggest transaction that buyers and sellers make in their life. So do you trust this person? Do you feel like they have your best interests at heart and are going to do a great job for you at the end of the day? So number one, customer service. Number two, experience. There's so much that can be said about for an agent that has experience with the buying and selling process. Especially, they say that, or NAR, the National Association of Realtors, say the average agent sells a median of 12 homes per year. That's not a ton of houses, one a month. So we just want to make sure that, is this agent, do they know what they're doing? Have they done this before? Also, do they know how to pre-approve a buyer that's bringing an offer on your home? Are they looking at the type of loan they're getting? Financing, what are the terms of the contract? Also, do they have systems in place to make sure it's one thing to find a buyer for your house. It's another thing to make it to the closing table, right? So do they have the experience, the processes and systems in place to make this as smooth of a transaction for you as they can? Can they write, a strong listing description for your home? All of those things that, you may just kind of assume that the agent knows how to do, just double check and, look into that as much as you can. Number three, strong negotiating. So again, this is such a huge transaction for the average American. You're dealing with a lot of legal implications, a lot of money implications. So just making sure that your agent knows how to make a win-win for you and the other side of the transaction. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal to get to the closing table, but you also want to make sure you're hiring somebody that knows how to negotiate on your behalf, and that also is going to keep your best interests, in mind as well. Are they protecting your money? Are they going to protect your money when it comes to negotiating repairs? Again, it's one thing to get the house under contract, but usually there's going to be a repair negotiation after you go under that initial contract. And so just making sure, do they know how to negotiate repairs? Are they taking classes to educate themselves to be a better skilled negotiator? Also, the appraisal, that's another point of negotiating in the transaction. Are they, making sure that the other side is willing to come up if the house appraisal came in low? Are they going to come up? Is your buyer able and willing to bring the difference to closing? So those are just, some items, so important to be able to negotiate in a transaction and just, again, get to the closing table. So number 4, marketing. Marketing, is this person, for one, able to market themselves to where you even know who they are and they exist? That's going to give you a good indication if they know how to market your property. Are they doing virtual tours? Are they hiring a professional photographer to take, great photos of your house? Are they utilizing a stager to come in and just make your house feel warm and inviting to a buyer? Also, what is their social media presence and digital marketing look like? Maybe ask them, show me your social media plan, show me your advertising budget. How many eyes are getting in front, are you getting in front of when you go to list my home? Because obviously the more people that know about your house and that it's for sale, the better for you, the seller. Okay, number 5 is, hold on one second, reviews. So nowadays we do that before we go buy a vacuum cleaner. Before we go buy anything, we're looking at reviews online. So is your agent getting reviews from their past clients? That's going to tell you the story, if they're doing a good job or not. Google them. Look at their reviews on Google. Look at their reviews on their social media, their Facebook. And maybe even ask them for references to call another seller that they helped through the process, so that way you feel comfortable hiring this agent to represent you in such a important transaction, and in such an it's a big move for anybody, and it can be very stressful, and you want to make sure you're doing the best you can to make sure you're making the right decisions. So if you have thought about selling your home or just want to know what your home could sell for and you're in the Triangle, I would love to help. My name is Rebecca Ellis, again, and I'm with Keller Williams and Living NC Real Estate. And you can just send me an email at rebecca@living-nc.com, or you can text me at 919-307-9545. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon.